Hello, I think we are live. Good evening, my friends from Bridgeway Church and the interweb. I'm pulling up the live stream on my computer, so forgive me as I work on that. Hope you guys are having a fantastic evening. I will say, and maybe you would agree with me, that the weather today has been so nice, so good. I'm curious if anyone has been out getting some sun. If you notice, I might have a slight, thing going on here. I hopefully got a little bit of sun today. I noticed that I look a lot like my walls, which are pretty much white. So I'm trying to get a little sun on my face so that I'm a little less pasty. But hey, let me know if you are here. Hey, Teresa, if you would just leave a comment if you are here. Hello, Justin, Jenny, Scotty, May, Teresa. Hey, Mom, my mom is watching. Hey, Mom, let us know how you are doing all the way out from the West Coast. Let's see, Greg, yes, nice summer weather. Stan and I are here. Richard Mendoza, yard work today. Good for you. I should be doing yard work, but I'm not going to because I hate yard work. So if you want to help out, there's yard work to do at my house. Let's see, we went for a walk. Yeah, I'm curious. So to get things started, first of all, let me know if you are here and watching. I'm curious, what's one thing that you've been doing, like maybe on a daily basis, that's been helping you in the shutdown? I know for me, I've been doing every morning. We get up with my whole family and we go on a walk, which is just a great way to start the day. And we kind of do that together, and then we go not our separate ways. I go upstairs to my office, which is right over there, and then Lizzie. My goodness, please give some love to my wife, by the way, for and all the stay-at-home moms who are trying to handle like kids. So I know that is a huge challenge. So thank you all for doing that. But leave a comment about what you're doing. Hey, what's up, Ron and Lynn? About what you're doing to stay sane, to stay healthy during this time. Again, right now, I've been trying to get outside as much as possible. Today I'm wearing shorts. Not that you care what I'm wearing, but I'm wearing shorts, and it's been fantastic. Also, on the note of things I'm wearing that you don't care about, I was putting on this shirt, and I reminded my wife, I said, hey, babe, do you remember this shirt? I said, this is the shirt I was wearing the first day I preached at Bridgeway years ago now. It's crazy, almost 3 years ago. And she's like, who cares? And that hurt my feelings. And maybe you should help me out here and tell her why that was a mean thing to say, because I think it's significant that I'm wearing my favorite shirt here as well. Let's see, who else? Tim Williams. Hello, Tim. Hello, Laurel Collins. What else are we doing? Again, question to you guys. What are we doing to stay sane, and what's been helpful for you in the midst of the shutdown? One thing on the a kind of more of a spiritual nature, I have been listening to this song. Hey, who is that? Wesley. Is that Wesley upstairs? I think that was Wesley. He's not wearing pants, so he will go to bed soon. I have been really, really encouraged by the song called The Blessing by Carrie Job. I've been listening to that song on repeat, and I absolutely love that song. I find it to be very encouraging. I think it's from Numbers 6, which is Moses' blessing. I think it's fantastic. Hey, Alan, Cliff, and Ann, Darwin. Hello, Becky. How are you, Becky? Binging on Lost. Oh, Scotty's been binging on Lost. Here I am talking about spiritual things, and then Scotty's bringing up really a terrible TV show that I wish I didn't have to watch. I lost many hours of my life thanks to that show. Okay, guys. Yeah, The Blessing is awesome. Thank you, Will. You happen to be the worship pastor here, so you know what I'm thinking. Okay. All right, so we've got some folks on, so thank you again for joining. I want to just jump in and start giving you some updates and things that we wanted to share with you this week. But just before we do that, one more question that would be helpful for me and for us is what has helped you from maybe a Bridgeway perspective. So something that we've done that's helped you in this time. So maybe that's been the sermons and things we're posting online. Maybe that's been Ben's daily devotions or some of the things that Tim is doing to help with kids. I'm curious what has helped you. And then also maybe the question is, how can we do more to help you right now from a Bridgeway Church perspective? We want to help as much as we can, and we're constantly thinking about ways that we can serve you in this time. Our elders last night were getting together, and we were talking through just how we can better serve you guys. This week, if you, many of you, hopefully most of you, have gotten a call from either your small group leader, an elder, or a staff person. That's just what we're trying to do to stay connected to you and to help out as much as we can. So again, let us know in the comments here what we can do to serve you. Let me just say hello to Lisa, Jennifer, Fran. Fran, how are you doing? We're thinking about you and praying for you. That's all I'll say. But it's good to see you on the broadcast. Greg has been staying connecting using Zoom.us. Tell me what. Who here wishes they could invest in Zoom or WebEx at the moment? I missed out on that opportunity as well. So in the comments, let us know what we can do or what we can do more to help you right now. And that means practically, spiritually, we're trying to think of things, but you can help be a part of that conversation as well. Again, if you're just logging in, let us know that you are here. Teresa Rendon says, love the videos. Please put more on YouTube. Oh, yes. Okay. That's a good segue. I want to encourage you right now. So everyone here, make sure, first of all, that you're probably following us on Facebook, but go to YouTube right now. And Jenny, can you post this link? I think Jenny is logging in here. Here's a link to our YouTube page. And we are working on making sure that anything we post on Instagram or Facebook or anything we can that we can think of will go up on our YouTube page. So if you follow us and subscribe and you press the alert button, you'll get automatic updates when we post anything. And that's probably the best way where you can stay up to date and stay connected with our video content. So if we can have the YouTube video link, the YouTube link put up, that would be fantastic. Also, I want to encourage you, and you guys have been doing fantastic. When we do anything on Facebook, please not only watch it, not only like it, but share it. Right now, let's just be honest, social media is the way that we are all connecting. And by you sharing it, it actually helps us to get our content out to more and more people, way more than if we got paid for advertising. It means more when you share it. So please share literally everything we do. You should do that anyways because you love us and you think we're awesome. But especially right now, share our content so that we get that out to more people because we're really working on helping people have hope. We're trying to point people to Jesus right now, not just Bridgeway, but for people all around our community. So please help out. How are you doing? Jeannie Smith, Tim Cole, Stephanie. Let's see, so much that y'all are doing. Speaking over the phone with an awesome. Hey, thank you, Stephanie. I'm just reading your comment here. Terms are very helpful. Thank you. Awesome. No, again, I'm glad that's helping you. Let us know how we can do more of that. So please share our content. Here's my challenge. This Sunday sermon, which will be at Sunday at 10, I want to challenge all of us to share and get 100 shares on Facebook. I know that's a lot, but we did like 40 last week, so I believe we can get 100 shares. So if you watch it, share it. And that is Jesus speaking to you, commanding you to do that. So please help us out with that. So thank you, whoever, Teresa, I think, for reminding me about YouTube. Okay, a couple of updates just to give you an idea of what we're going to do tonight. I want to give you some church updates and some service stuff. I'm going to give you some updates on the building, the children's building. And then as well, this week, we have asked all of our missionaries, both launching missionaries and current missionaries, to send us updates on how they're doing. And so we're going to share with you some of the stuff that we're hearing back just so you can be aware, that you can be praying, and that you can be just generally supporting them as a part of our Bridgeway family. Let me see here. What else? Oh, and then I'll give you a sneak peek about the sermon this week as well. So let me do those in kind of reverse order. This week, I'm really excited because we're on Sunday, we're going to continue to tackle the topics of worry, which we did last week, and then depression, which is next week. And you really want to tune into that because our very own Ben Dishman, Ben, give me a shout out if you are here. Ben is going to be teaching on depression, which is going to be a really important sermon for you to listen to. But this week, we're going to focus on anxiety and how we can deal with anxiety. We're going to look at 1 Peter, and we're going to see how Peter tells us to handle anxiety. So if that's something you struggle with COVID-19, or just generally speaking, it's going to be really, really helpful for you. So that's what's coming up this week. I think Jenny might have a funny thumbnail of that, of me breathing into a paper bag. If you didn't understand what that means, that's me having an anxiety attack, and you breathe into the paper bag. That's at least my idea there. So if it was bad, you can tell me, and I will have my feelings hurt. Okay, so sermon stuff. That's what's coming up. Let's talk about building, children's building updates. So I have some good news, and the good news is that as of today, we just found out that the town of Copper Canyon has fully approved our plans, which is super cool. We didn't think that was going to be able to happen. They told us that they weren't going to be able to, but we've been really working hard on the back end. And so I want to give Scotty and all our team for props for working really hard. But we now have the building approved from a plans perspective, which is fantastic because you need that to go forward. That was a good news. There's not bad. It's not bad news, but it's news. Our design build partner, they reached out to us this week, and they let us know that right now with the shutdowns and the slowdowns, being able to get a construction crew for the target date, which was the 30th, might not happen. Now, we don't know that for sure, but I wanted to let you guys know that groundbreaking might take place a week or two, possibly even 3 weeks after when we hoped. Now, just to put that into context, though, we actually originally were planning for a groundbreaking date well after Easter. And so we've been ahead of schedule, and unfortunately, we've kind of caught up now. Unfortunately, this nasty virus has pushed us back a little bit, but it kind of pushed us back to where we thought we would be originally, if that makes sense. So good news is we're approved. We're ready to go. The community or the local town, city, whoever, the village of Copper Canyon has approved our plans, and so we're ready to go, but we're going to probably be a week to 3 weeks behind on actually breaking ground. Again, the good news is that could potentially change for the better, and I will let you know, of course, as information becomes available. Okay, also, a lot of you have been asking about services. When can we meet together again? And again, I'm right there with you. I want to meet as soon as possible. But right now, what we are hearing, and this is from local and county government, is that it is likely that we are going to be doing services online for longer than we had hoped. So as you know, this weekend, the 29th, we've decided that's going to be online because that's just what everyone's doing. But it's likely that this might have to continue into April. And so I don't like that. I don't want that. Neither do you. But that's the information we have right now. So what we're going to do is every week on Thursday, we'll have an update for the next Sunday and perhaps 2 Sundays out, depending on what we have from our local officials. So as soon as we know, we will let you know. But right now, I just want to prepare you guys for the fact that we might be doing services online into April. And so that's not what I want, but that's what it is for the time being. So I want to let you know so that you can be prepared. And let's also just be believing for the fact that we could be surprised in a good way, and that we could, if we're all really diligent at social distancing, we could be getting back sooner. And so that's what I'm believing for. That's what we're praying for. But there it is. So we want to be as open and honest with the information that we have right now. So that is the word right now. So this week will be online. Be prepared. I would just say be prepared for next week to be online, but also just be prepared for the possibility of a couple more weeks, or even, I won't even say anything because I don't want to think about that because I love you guys and I miss you. But we're going to submit to our leaders that's actually a little sneak peek for our sermon this Sunday. We're going to believe and trust in God's leaders that are looking out for us and the like. Okay. Hey, let's see who here is. Hi, Michael. Let me see who's just logged on here. Michael, hey, thank you for the encouragement, my friend. We are doing our best, but we do have an amazing team of staff and elders. I'm so grateful for them. And if you are too, maybe even send them a note just to say how much you love them. Let's see. Mandy Sullivan, not Mondi Sullivan. I'm sorry. Let's see. We have a few people who are sold on the song of the blessing, so I'm so glad. Matt Gower, good morning. Or good afternoon. It's evening time. What am I talking about? Cool. Awesome. And again, let me know. I will do my best to keep up with the comments as they come in. What's up, Ramiro? Sup, as you say. All right, let's move on here. So a couple of updates. And so I want to talk about missions. And so as you know, that missions are, we're so excited about what God's doing, of course, locally in our church community. But as you know, Bridgeway, we are having a global impact. And so I want to share with you some updates from our folks in the field. And then also a couple of updates from Jake and Stacy and Haley McNeese, who we're getting ready to launch into missions as well. So let me just pull up a document here that I have. And this is from Ron Bolin and the missions team. So thank you, Ron, for getting this all together. And if you are one of our missionaries, hey, drop us a note. I realize you're probably sleeping or just waking up right now. So, but let us know that you're here, and we love you and we're praying for you. So a couple of updates from China. This is from David and Sandy Stathopoulos. So again, obviously they're really close to what was the epicenter of this outbreak. So it was very good to hear from them. A couple of things. So as most of you know, David and Sandy are planning to return back to the States. It was supposed to be April 30th, but with the travel restrictions, they're looking at May 30th. So that's 30 days that they're going to be in China longer than expected, but they'll be back. And when they are back, we're planning on having a big celebration for them, just to honor them and to celebrate the work that's happened there with the whole Stathopoulos clan as well. So David says, looks like this is from Sandy as well. So David and I are thankful and in good spirits. It seems as though, from their perspective, a lot of the worst is behind them. Things are returning to normal, so maybe that's a harbinger of good things to come for us. So wanted to share with you, let's see, they're moving a lot of their studies and work online, just like a lot of us are. So that's just something they've been doing as well. So again, Faith, Hope, and Love, they're meeting online. That's the church in China. They're doing well. And again, they're just talking about the necessity of being flexible, which is super important. Ron, thank you for correcting me. Roger Branson, thank you for getting me this information. Roger Branson was working with our international missionaries, so I apologize there. But thanks for clarifying that as well. Matt, good morning. Okay, yeah, I made a mistake, okay? No one's perfect. Okay, an update from Turkey with Andrew and Katie Brindley. So they're experiencing some pretty hardcore shutdowns here. So they're having most of their outdoor activities limited, which is obviously a huge challenge, especially with kids. So be praying for them. Church has moved from meeting into 3 locations to meeting online. So again, a lot of the same things that we're having to do right now. It seems that they're talking about how the youth of the church, so the young folks are helping the elderly as well. So I think that's just awesome to hear about the church taking care of one another and being a family. Okay, Peter and Ree Valley, they've got some updates from Greece. So like us, they've had to stop their gatherings in the house church, which are going bananas, by the way. They're really incredible. I won't say too much online, but let's just say they're doing fantastic. So they're having to suspend that for a time. They're moving their online Bible studies to online formats. Again, stuff we're having to do. Cool thing though, and Jenny, if you had this link available, can you share this YouTube link? This is something that Peter is doing to help give people an introduction to the Bible and to help them understand just basic fundamental facts and truths about the Bible. And so he's putting together YouTube videos so that they can watch that and use as a resource for that. And we'll have those so that you can just keep an eye on what they're doing and just celebrate all the awesome things that are happening in Greece. Let's see here. So again, they just thank you for our prayers and for safety, and that God is just going to continue to move through Athens and the rest of Europe. So again, exciting things happening in Greece. From Italy, as many of you know, we support Aaron and Grace Ogburn. They work with Pioneer Bible translators to do Bible translation work. Thankfully, through technology, a lot of that translation work is continuing. They're able to continue their work, not totally uninterrupted, because obviously they're in Italy, and that's one of the toughest places to be. But in terms of the actual work there, they're able to continue. Let's see, I think Aaron here, let's see, he is working with churches to really help, again, flex to this crisis right now. There's a lot of need. A couple of the initiatives that they've been working on have been postponed just because of the severity of the outbreak in Italy. So continue to pray for Aaron and Grace, that they would just be just a source of hope right now, because they desperately need that in Italy especially. Okay, moving on to our new missions points. So Jake and Stacy are making lots of progress. A couple of exciting things is they're in the interview process for visas with Spain right now. Excuse me. Those are going well. They will have to go to their final interview in Houston. And you guys, I think I saw Jake and Stacy. You guys can correct me and add anything that I miss here. But you'll be going down to do the interview, and then from that point, you'll get your visas, and it's anywhere between 8 to 12 weeks. So again, Spain, we're keeping an eye on the situation there. They're experiencing a lot of shutdowns, and they've been pretty, well, not strict. I don't know if that's the right way, but they've been pretty restrictive on travel. So we need to pray that God's timing will ultimately be the right timing. Even though we had a plan, we have to realize that God is in control, and even though we didn't have knowledge of this, God did, and so we're just trusting that He's going to use this situation, excuse me, for the ministry there in Spain, in Madrid. And then also with Haley McNeese. Hello, Haley, if you are here. Hey, Ian. Hey, that's my brother-in-law. Hello, Ian. Good to see you. So Haley has been working, I don't know if you know this, but last month she went for a month-long training for missionary work in Colorado Springs. There was actually a really cool story. I will have Haley maybe share this at some point, but there was a church who kind of came and figured out what was going on with them, and this church just sort of spontaneously helped them out and gave them some money. So super cool experience. We'll hear more about that from you, Haley. But she was there on the tail end of this outbreak, so or at the beginning, I should say. So the last few days got cut short, and she had to come home a little bit early. So again, right now we're in a holding pattern, where we're seeing the soonest time we can see both Jake and Stacy and Haley go to their respective missions points. Right now, U.S.-Mexico border travel is pretty much closed to non-essential travel. And so again, right now we're in a holding pattern to see when we can launch these folks to their missions points. So for all of our missionaries, I want to encourage you, implore you, just continue to pray, continue to be supportive of them, offer them words of encouragement, and anything that we can do to just to help out and to be a part of their family as they prepare, and then obviously as they go to their missions points. So again, really exciting things happening, and I think we just need to be encouraged that even in the midst of a difficult time right now, which we're in, we're still being able to accomplish our mission in so many ways, both at home and abroad. And so let's just continue to be grateful. Let's be thankful, and let's just remember that this is an opportunity for us to not to sit back and see what happens, but really to press into our mission and vision as a church. Okay, so I've been talking a lot. Are there any questions, any things that you have questions about, concerns about, things that you would like me to speak to live? Last week, none of you had any questions. Hey, my dad's on. Hello, Dad. Let's see. Beverly, Britt, good to see you. If you have any questions or things that you would like me to speak to before I share just a short devotional. I say like brief and short like it's two different words, and I don't know why I do that. It is a mental block that I have, and I'm working on that. For anyone that bothers, know that it bothers me too, and so I'm working on it. Anything else? Any other questions before we jump into a short devotional? Okay, before I do that, I'm going to have a sip of my carbonated beverage, LaCroix. It is flavored water. And I'm curious, does anyone here like LaCroix or things of that nature? I used to not like LaCroix at all. And now I just live off the stuff. Pamplemousse, which is a fancy word for grapefruit, is my favorite flavor. And I love it. And so, yeah, in case you're also interested in facts that you probably didn't care about, that's something you probably should know about me. Gross, just okay, Ben Kellogg, that's a man. Yes, there we go. Oh, yes, Art, do I want to say a word about I need help? Yes, and I will also mention this briefly in our devotion, but yes, I wanted to most importantly say thank you to all of you who have offered to help. And we have really just seen a ton of people come forward, both who are willing to help in a practical way, but also people who have been donating things like gift cards and stuff. It's been incredible, and I want to thank you for that. Just to remind you, if you know of anyone that needs help, or if you need help, you can email us at ineedhelp@bwchurch.org. And Jenny, maybe you can post that that email address. So the awesome thing right now is we're having more people offer to help than have actually needed help. Now, I would say that could change in the future, so continue to press in and continue to be a resource. Excuse me, I drank too much of the seltzer water at the moment. A little burp there. So we want to be able to help any needs that come up. So again, help us help other people. So whether that's being available or helping us know about needs, please help. Hey, Bethany, Caitlin Herman. Hello, Caitlin. This is one of my wife's friends who played water polo back at the U of O. Go UOWWP. That's University of Oregon Women's Water Polo. So hello, Caitlin. All right. So any other... Oh, thank you. Okay, we got more seltzer water comments. All right, this is where we're going here tonight. So I love it. Okay, so I will also mention this, but again, that kind of ties into our devotion. So I want to just quickly share with you something that I was looking at today and just reading through, and I was reading through my Bible this morning. I thought it was really relevant to where we are at right now, and it was really encouraging for me. So I wanted to share a passage. It's probably my favorite passage on going through difficulty and what the Bible would call trials. And it's in James chapter 1. You've probably heard this, I'm guessing, but again, it just encouraged me today. So I wanted to share with you this verse and a couple of thoughts that hit me while I was reading it. And before I do that, let's see, Greg, just keeping it real. Yep, little burp, I get it. Christine Matthews. Hey, Christine. We're about to jump into a short Bible devotional in James 1. So let me just read you this passage, give you a few notes, and then we'll wrap it up for this evening. But thanks for joining in. Let's go to James chapter 1, verse 2 through 4. And it begins this way. It says, "Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow, for when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing." So let me just kind of let's unpack this a little bit, because again, this verse is so important to me, and really I think for us right now as well. So I love how James begins this whole conversation. And it's sort of maybe a throwaway, but it's just struck me today. He said, "Dear brothers and sisters," and he's talking in this context about all Christians everywhere. This is not really directed towards a particular group. He's talking about Christians. But as I was looking at this verse today, it just reminded me of you guys, of my brothers and sisters at Bridgeway, in Eugene, really any person of faith, even my family. And it just reminded me of the importance of family and the reality that we're bound together as believers in a spiritual family. And especially if you're in our Bridgeway community, you know this to be true. We don't just show up to go to church together. We don't just attend some sort of social club. Really, we are brothers and sisters. We view ourselves as family. And that's just for me so evident when we gather together or when we talk. It's just so clear that there's such a deep bond between us. And so I'm grateful, and I'm just reminded of the fact that when we are believers, we are a part of the same family. And that just gives me a lot of hope and encouragement right now. But then James talks about, he says, dear brothers and sisters, when troubles, and we're all familiar with troubles of any kind, come your way. And obviously right now, when I say trouble, you're thinking of coronavirus or COVID-19 and the troubles associated with that. And of course, we're all trying to figure out our troubles with this situation. Whether you're just trying to figure out what to do with a bunch of kids at home, whether your small business is in trouble, whether you've been maybe laid off from work, we're all experiencing trouble, and that's real. But I also remembered this week we've had a few folks reach out to us who've had other troubles as well, both health and otherwise. And it reminded me right now just of the time that we need to remember, first of all, anyone who's struggling, particularly in our faith community. There's been a few people who we found out have been in the hospital for various reasons, kind of unrelated to the coronavirus. But I just want to remember, really just or acknowledge the fact that a lot of us are struggling right now with other things as well. And so when James talks about when he's going to continue this conversation, he wants to frame it in that when we experience any kind of trouble, when we experience any kind of adversity, he says this: consider it an opportunity. And let me just stop there, because what I'm hearing, if you turn into the news, what I hear about is just doom and gloom. Or even right now, maybe you've started to hear there's started to be like political, posturing, and they want to pass a bill and they don't. And so we're seeing just kind of some nastiness right now. But James has a different view of adversity. He doesn't look at this as an opportunity for bickering or for partisanship. He looks at it as an opportunity for something in particular. But I was just thinking about it. What is this an opportunity for us? What does this shut in and this crisis represent in terms of opportunity? Because I think crisis always is a moment for us to step up. And I was just thinking about a few things. And I would love this. If you have any other ideas that jump to your mind, leave them in the comments. Okay, what are the opportunities right now that we have that we otherwise wouldn't have if we weren't experiencing this crisis together? And a couple of things that came to my mind is the ability, it's an opportunity to share, which means that we have now maybe an opportunity to share about our faith and our hope in Jesus that we otherwise maybe wouldn't have. For me, this has been an opportunity to focus. And though I'm working from home, but like you, my whole day has kind of changed, and I'm trying to figure out like what to do and when to do it. But I've had just some time to just think about what God might be doing, about some of the lessons that he wants to teach me and maybe our culture. And so in a weird way, it's also helped me just to have a greater opportunity to focus on things that are important. It's an opportunity for a lot of us to spend extra time in prayer and devotion. And again, I realize that opportunity comes at the expense of maybe some other things. But again, for me, it's been an opportunity to pray, to focus, and to share our faith in a way that we otherwise wouldn't be able to. I think it's also an opportunity to help. And this is something we've talked about a little bit already with our I Need Help initiative. This is an opportunity for us to be a practical representation of Jesus in the community. And I want to again thank you and just tell you how proud I am of everyone who has stepped up willingly to say, hey, send me, pick me, coach. I'm ready to help. And so I want to encourage you, but I also want to thank you, but I want to encourage everyone else as well to use this as an opportunity to help other people. A couple of folks have done something for me that just has meant a lot. A few of you have just driven by my house, and I don't know if you're allowed to do that, so I won't mention you to not get you in trouble with our local officials, but I'm not saying to break the law, but I'm just saying I appreciated it. It was just before the deadline to stay inside. I'll just say that. But it was a huge encouragement to me just to have people show up and just to say hello. And we stayed 6 feet away and all that. But it was just really it was a blessing to me. So thank you for those of you who are stepping up to help. And so what James is getting at here is his big opportunity in trials is an opportunity to experience great joy. And that is one of the great mysteries of life with Jesus, is that in the midst of difficulty, and perhaps even to a greater degree in the midst of difficulty, we can experience joy. And joy, we know, is not the same thing as happiness, because there's a lot of people right now who are not happy, yet who are experiencing great joy. Because joy it's not a feeling, it's not maybe even a state of mind. It is simply the result of being filled with the Holy Spirit and having Jesus in control of our lives. If we look at it, the fruit of the Spirit, Paul tells us, is love and joy, right? That's the second one in the fruits of the Spirit. So it's the result of having God's Spirit in us, working through us, encouraging us, empowering us. And for James, he says that it's an opportunity to experience great joy. Verse 3, he says, "For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow." And I think I've said this before, and it's not exactly a profound insight, but it is true, I think you'd agree, that rarely is it the case that we grow in times of great comfort and in great happiness. So again, when I love vacations, I love sitting on a beach or by a pool doing as little as possible. I love that, and it's so nice, and it's probably needed. But I would say, as much as those are great opportunities and wonderful things to do, I would say that I've never grown on vacation. I never have. I have never grown. I have never been strengthened in a moment of bliss. But I've experienced immense growth when I go through adversity and when I have trials and challenges in my life. And what James tells us is something we already know. It's that when we go through difficulty, we're stretched. We experience maybe even some pain in various ways and shapes and forms. But all of these are a chance for us to grow in our faith, in our maturity, and in our trust for God. And he says, so let it grow. He says, in a way, don't be looking to get out of the situation as much as you're looking to get something out of the situation. Did you catch that? Let it grow. Let God use suffering and trials and adversity to do something in you that otherwise might not be able to happen. And that's probably more on us than it is God. I think sometimes struggling has a way of sharpening our focus rather than allowing God to work. I think God can do whatever he wants, but sometimes we're more open to what God wants to do in those moments. He says, so let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete. And again, perfect, it's one of those words, when we see it there, it's like, oh, am I just going to be perfect like I know I already am, right? People just haven't figured that out yet. I am in fact perfect. It is all y'all who have the problems. No, of course, that's not what he's getting at. Perfect really does mean complete. It means a fullness. It means, really, he's saying lacking or needing nothing. So when we go through suffering, we grow spiritually. Our faith grows. Our trust grows. We become more mature in our faith and our following of Jesus. And he says the ultimate result is that we lack nothing. And that's not to say that our problems go away. That's not to say that there's not uncertainty. He just tells us that when all of these things happen, we will ultimately be lacking nothing. We'll grow. We will experience joy that's made possible by the Holy Spirit through Jesus. And then we will ultimately be fully complete. And for me, that's just so helpful, knowing that this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for us to help and to share about Jesus and to grow even ourselves. This is not something we need to run in fear from, this crisis or maybe another crisis that you're experiencing as well. So be encouraged. Continue to press into the Word right now. Be focused on Jesus. Fill our minds with things that are honorable, with things that are noble, and there's trustworthy, and I think a few other things. So let's continue to use this as an opportunity to allow God to do something in us and through us. All right, that is it for tonight. I want to thank everyone who is coming in. Melody, hey, welcome from Oregon. Melody is a dear friend and an amazing worship leader. She and I got to work together for many, many, many years. So grateful for you, Melody. Karen, Casey, and Ashley, so grateful for you guys. Stan, Will, everyone who has joined tonight, thank you so much. We love you, and we will be in touch very soon. Continue, stay strong, and we love you guys. Have a great night.